What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. It's time to talk about one of the best shows on Netflix. It's definitely in my top 5. Let me know what you think down below. Where does it rank for you? I love the films back in the day, and I think they've done a phenomenal job. It's been brilliant every season. And the characters they've brought back, the characters they've brought in, the stories they've told, the evolution of those characters has been brilliant. One of the best shows on Netflix. And it's time to talk about the last season, the first part of the last season. And like we saw last time, Cobra Kai is no more. Terry Silver's been carted off to prison. John Creese has escaped. We're heading towards the Sekai TaiKai. And what else could go down in this part? Let's talk about it right now and what I thought about it. So we find out that the Sekai TaiKai has been held in Barcelona. This was the main story of the whole part of this season, really. Who was going, because we also find out that only 6 members of each dojo can compete. So they have to whittle it down to 6 people. And Johnny, Daniel, and of course Choshin have to decide between them who will be going. And they have some problems. Of course they do, deciding who should go. They have to get some help, an impartial person that can help them decide. Enter Mike fucking Barnes. He was fantastic. He whittles it down to 12 with some interesting tests and challenges for the students. It was obvious who it was going to be. It was all the main characters, really. Apart from poor old Bert. Didn't get a look in. Didn't get a shot. Sorry, Bert. See you next time, Bert. Better luck next time, son. Yeah, of course, we knew the power couples were getting in. They whittled it down again. The power couples got in. Yep, Tori, Robbie, Sam, Miguel. Then there was just 2 spots left, and you're thinking, okay, the best fighter, it's got to be Hawk, really, hasn't it? And the up-and-comer, Kenny, his story that they told, it's got to be him, surely. But no, they go with Dimitri. I'm a fan of Dimitri, don't get me wrong. The way that he went about it, I wasn't happy. And Devon. And again, I was a fan of hers last season, but what the story they told with her this season, and the way she went about it, nah, fuck Devon, man. Fuck that. It wasn't very Miyagi Do of the 2 of them, the way they got in, and I wasn't pleased that Hawk and Kenny got screwed. Then they have to find team captains, and we get a great fight between Miguel and Robbie for that one. We were going to get Sam versus Tori one more time, but again, something stops it again, and this time it's the passing of Tori's mum. Big moment in this season, or this part of the season, and going forward as well, I do believe. And poor old Tori. And then we see what happens at the end, the shocking ending as well, as they enter the Sekai TaiKai. They get to the mat, they meet the other teams, and we see Tori across the mat from them with John Creese and the Korean Cobra Kai. We learn a lot about them. We learn a bit about them. That was interesting. John Creese, of course, has escaped. He's legged it off to Korea somehow. He's managed to escape the country. Comes back at one point. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's managing it. There were some questions there. But anyway, yeah, he's out in Korea. Links up with his old sensei, Master Kim, and her granddaughter. We saw her in the last season. She was the villain, along with Terry Silver, if you remember her. And John Creese has to go through some, let's say, challenges to get Master Kim to allow his students to fight in the Sekai TaiKai. Then we learn about their students, and that was interesting. Great fight between, was it Kwon and Yun, to become top boy, and the main games from Terry and from John Creese. It didn't take him long, did it, really, to get in there and play these mind games and change things up and take control. But yeah, I love the fight scene and everything about those guys. They look absolutely awesome. I don't know how anyone from Cobra Kai, not from Miyagi Do, sorry, is going to stand a chance against these guys. They look absolutely phenomenal. They've been training all their lives. There's no way. No way. Anyway, anything can happen in the world of Cobra Kai and Miyagi Do, Miyagiverse. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, there were a lot of character developments. Even though there were only 5 episodes, we saw some interesting character development. So let's have a look. Like Daniel LaRusso, we find out he's going to be retiring after the Sekai TaiKai as a sensei. That's what he says anyway. You never know, he'll probably change his mind. But his main story was really in finding a box of secrets from Miyagi in the floorboards. And he finds out that Miyagi had, a part ownership of a boxing club, and he stole a necklace. I don't know what's going on there. There's more to that story. There's no way Miyagi would have done that. I'm sorry. It's not in his character. He fled the country and had to come back under another name. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out what's going on there, and then we find out towards the end that Miyagi actually fought and competed in the Sekai TaiKai. That was all that was going on for LaRusso. Of course, he was training the kids and getting ready for that, and he had a bit of a issue with Johnny throughout. They couldn't see eye to eye, and it seems like they're going to be splitting up again. As for Johnny, Eagle Fang, like I said, that's no more. His dojo got knocked down right at the beginning. He's now sensei of Miyagi Do. His flat gets flooded. He has to find somewhere new to live. The baby's on the way. He's got 2 boys there. He's got Carmen and her mum. So he has to get a job. He gets a job. Of course he does straight away with LaRusso autos, and that was pretty entertaining. And he has a couple of fights which were pretty decent. One with Choshin, which was a bit of a joke, and then the one with Mike fucking Barnes was pretty decent. But apart from that, nothing more like he's had in seasons before, like last season where he fights 5 guys all by himself. And then he has a bit of a disagreement really with Daniel about the handling of Tori and the passing of her mum and them stopping her from fighting, and yeah, they seem like they're going to be splitting up again. So that was pretty much all going on with Johnny. Tori, she was the main character in this season, this part of the season. Her relationship with Sam, that seemed to be squashed pretty quick. The problems they seemed to get on quite quickly and resolve everything. They have a little bit of a falling out after a slumber party and resolve everything pretty quick. Not falling out really, they talked everything through, and they seemed to resolve everything and become okay. They became friends, and everything seemed to be going quite well for Tori, and it was like, okay, yeah, some redemption here. Maybe she'll do quite well in the Sekai TaiKai. She got through quite easily in that. She was on her way to Barcelona with Miyagi Do, and then in the last episode of this part, her mum dies, and yeah, her whole world falls apart, and you can't blame her. And Daniel doesn't handle it very well. Johnny doesn't handle it very well. None of the adults really handle it very well with her when they find out. Understand why they stopped the fight, but yeah, feel for Tori, and she's not with the right people, to be honest with you, hanging around with John Creese. But let's see what happens, shall we? Hopefully she can, I don't know, get some help, and we'll see her back to, yeah. That sucked though. That did suck. I don't know. A shocking ending of part 1, and still a Tory fan, still Team Tory all the way, and let's see where it goes. Robbie, he didn't really have much going on really, did he? He wanted to be the captain for Miyagi Do, and he won that fight, a great fight with Miguel. They had their relationship was a bit of a feature, and they seemed to resolve everything, and there was a bit of a jealousy bit there, but that resolved after the fight, I believe, and Yeah, the other story he had was him and Kenny, really, and him trying to convince Kenny to join Miyagi Do, and that went well for Kenny, didn't it? Nothing really going on for Miguel apart from him wanting to apply for college and get into Stanford, and he's not the only one. Dimitri gets into MIT. He also gets into a fight with Hawk because Hawk doesn't want to go to MIT anymore. He turns into a bit of a dick after that, in my opinion, and didn't like the cheap shot he took on Hawk to win his spot in Barcelona. Hawk, the best fighter they've got, and he's not going. Well, he wasn't going until the last minute. Has to take Tory's spot to go. And he didn't really have much else going on, really, apart from his relationship with Dimitri in this one. Sam, nothing to report, really. Apart from it was obvious that she was going. To Sekai TaiKai, of course she is. Kenny, though. Kenny got royally screwed. Royally screwed. I like how they got him back. And the story they told of his brother, you're thinking his brother's going to bring him down a darker path. But no, it's his brother who convinces him to join Miyagi Do. I like how they did that. And then, yeah, everything seems to be going well for him. He's doing well. Gets through the first couple of rounds of the challenges to get to the Sekai TaiKai. And you think he's going to win it and get that one of the last two spots. And then he gets screwed by Devon. What the fuck? We go back to him shitting himself. Being a clown, not a clown. Being bullied, being the joker. And yeah, that's how we ended it with Kenny in this part. Fuck that, man. Poor Kenny. Kenny got screwed. And we're going back to him and Anthony again, it seems. Them two feuding. I don't want to see that again. And fuck Devon, man. The whiny little bitch, man. That's what she became in this season. A whiny little bitch. I did like her in the last season, a couple of seasons when they brought her in. I thought she was really good, and I liked her in last season. They were building her up. And then this season she was just a whiny little bitch and was desperate to have a spot in Barcelona, and yeah, she got that spot by any means necessary. Screwing Kenny. Fuck Devon. There are a few other favourite characters that had a few scenes. We saw the return of Kyla. That was one of my favourite scenes where they go to community. They look around the community college and there's Kyla and is it Brooks, and yeah, that fight scene and the story they told with Kyla and what's going on with him at college. And yeah, I like that, and it was kind of strange that they're all friends straight away, but yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that and how they finished his story off pretty quickly. Stingray, of course, had to have a scene. That was phenomenal. Penis breath is back, or muscles now as he goes by. Yasmin, she had a bit of a quick scene with Dimitri. But yeah, I enjoyed the little scenes they all had, and the stories seemed to be getting wrapped up. Yeah. This was a kick-ass show, of course it was. It's just a shame we have to wait till November for the next instalment. But there were some great fights, like I said. The student bar fight was brilliant. Robbie versus Miguel. And the fight where Quan became top boy, of course, for Cobra Kai. They were my top three. There's still some questions. Who's going to win the Sekai TaiKai? Will Johnny and Daniel split, and what goes on there? What about Kenny? What are we going to do with Kenny? He was one of my picks to win it. Will there be one more All Valley? Maybe he'll win that. I hope so. I hope they do another All Valley. That'd be pretty cool to end the way to end it, in my opinion. One more All Valley to finish it off. Where we find out the secrets of Mr. Miyagi, and will Daniel get some peace and quiet for that? Does he deserve to know? Does he need to know? It's Mr. Miyagi's secrets. Why should he know? Why should he tell him? Why should he have told him? Well, what other twists and turns have they got in store for us? And where did Choshin go? Where did he disappear to? If you know, let me know down below. If you know, and let me know what you think down below. And thank you very much if you have watched this far, and let me know what you thought about the video. Smash a like, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.